Hey, welcome back to Whitetail Garage. I know it's been a minute since I've uploaded anything, but just been busy doing family things, doing some relaxing over the holidays. It was way too hot, then it was too cold, and then it just, I just was struggling to get out in the garage. You guys know all about that. Sometimes it's tough to get motivated to get out there. But we're taking Rita back to the hot rod run, the Hobbs Hot Rod Run. And she needs to be cleaned up. I have plenty to do on both cars project related, but we're just going to have to get back to that when we can get back to it. So on Rita, we've got the seat heaters we still haven't done. I want to get those finished up and in. I know there's a lot of people that were interested in that. I've got, let's see, what else do I have to do? I want to put headlights in it, LED headlights and taillights. I haven't even started shopping those. Once I land on something, I'll let y'all know. If y'all got anything that y'all have done that y'all are really excited about, I really want factory looking, even in the reflectors in the rear. I really want factory looking, just much brighter, and the reflectors in the front for the ambers. So there's that is a project that I need to do. I want to rewire the headlight switch where the ambers stay on with the headlights in 66. When you pull the headlights, when you pull the park lamps, the ambers come on for park lamps, but when you pull the headlights, the park lamps go out. That's the way they're supposed to be. So I want to fix that where it doesn't do that. I want them on all the time. For Rita, we got an amplifier, 5-channel amplifier kicker to match the kicker speakers I put in it. So we can go ahead and get that wired up, get more sound there. And I also got a small kicker subwoofer, I think it's an 8-inch subwoofer to put in the back. That'll be in a future episode. We'll check that out. I really want to get an alarm on this. What are you guys doing for your security? And I know an alarm is just a squawk box. It's not going to save the car. But right now, I'm afraid to get further than I can see it right now. Whereas if it had an alarm, I could at least go just around the corner. If it started squawking, I'd know somebody was messing with it, right? I know it's not going to protect the car. If somebody wants the car, they're going to take the car. There's not much I can do. But again, if it'll just make noise when somebody opens the door or it senses vibration, then at least I know somebody's messing with it. It's something. The other thing is the hood lock. There was a company that made a good hood lock for these a while back, but apparently went out of business. What are you guys doing for hood locks? That's another thing that I need to be able to do if I'm going to leave this at a show, right? Because these shows that we're going to, there's events that happen kind of indoors and they park all the cars outside. And there's just the general public going through there, and it doesn't even require admission to a lot of these. You just come in and go and hang out. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's a lot of little knick-knack things I'm not thinking of. Weather strip on all of Rita. She needs it all the way around. Just little things here and there. Today, though. So the Hobbs Hot Rod Run is coming up. This is the last chance I have to get the car washed and detailed. So get all the inside detailed, get the outside washed up as best I can. And then it has a squeak. There's a squeak in the front end, some kind of suspension squeak. I just need to try and track down and get it either lubed up or figure out what's going on with it. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be working on. See, I've got some oil down there. It's all coming out of this distributor. So this is the one I bought off of Amazon. And I mean, it works as far as ignition goes. It works really well for that. Saved a lot of my troubles. But see that oil down there? That's always coming out of here after it parks. When I'm driving, I lose a little bit as I'm driving. All coming out of this thing. So I would not recommend it unless you're doing short term. That was my intention when I got it. So I'm okay with that. This bolt right down here, which is the lower control arm bolt, before was making a big noise. So I'm going to start looking there. The bolt or the nut that hits the end of this torsion bar, it was loose one time. I'm going to double check that. Just go around checking everything on the suspension. I may even pop the tires off and check that. Like I said, I really think it's on this side, but I'm not 100%. You can see, man, she needs to be cleaned up bad. Get all this cleaned up for the show. So of course I took her for a test drive, not a single squeak. That's just what you would always expect. But this popped out while we were driving. and that's the first time it's done that. It was actually sitting down here and rattling around. So now it doesn't want to stay in there. So I'm not real sure how to get it to stay. This piece is plastic, and then this part of this piece is cast. So I tried bending a couple of these and they just snap because they're cast. They're not meant to do that. Learned that the hard way. So now I got to figure out how to make that guy stick. Might have to get creative on that. So looking under here, you can see everything looks in order. And you can see where I've already shot some just lube trying to get the squeak to go away because I thought it was in there. That's just mud. It looks like I didn't lube that. The last time I lubed this, you can see the kind of over. So I'm going to try lubing those real quick and then just look around and see if I see anything else that's out of, you know, whack. I'll check tightness on bolts and whatnot too. Alright, well, got those lubed. I went ahead and tightened this nut. So with an impact on the front and just a wrench on the back, it seemed to get nice and tight. But then when I used 2 wrenches and actually try and twist on the back here, I was able to get a few turns. And then the other thing that was interesting is, look at how far that shock is up there. So, looks like that side's missing the isolator. And the bottom here was missing a nut. So I found a nut that'll fit. There's no isolator. Oh wait, no, there is an isolator up there. I can feel it. It's just dropped. All right. So got the little homemade isolator here because I don't know where the right one is, but you can see clearly right there, there was a nut hitting there. So that may or may not have been the squeak, but it was right in there. And that, like I said, that back shock bolt, the one down in there, didn't even have the nut on it. That must have wiggled loose. But now she's back. All right, over here on the passenger side, everything looks good. So I did snug these just slightly, not much there, and then again down here, just reproducing what I did, that bolt right there, that nut. These here are completely snug on both sides. Check the sway bar, nothing. You know, all of these, the cotter pins are still in and good. So the only other thing it could be is like surfaces like this surface. You know, that mating surface could be squeaking. There's an isolator up top, so that's not it. We got isolators on top and bottom of these. Certainly these came with the car, they're not new, so that pin could absolutely squeak. And then I did not replace the upper control arms. That could absolutely be squeaking. Those are serviceable, but I did grease. I haven't greased these, but I'm going to grease them. And then hopefully that solves the squeak. I'm going to have to get glue for that hubcap because it's going to require some glue to keep that in the center there. But otherwise, washed, interior's detailed. Like I said, I did find the shock mount on the driver's side was loose. So got that fixed. Checked the passenger side, it was good. I did get 2 turns out of that nut that, like I said, was noisy. It's the lower control arm mount at the chassis. That was loose at one point a while back, and it was really, really noisy, kind of making a similar squeak that it's making now. But it was tight. I was able to get a couple of turns out of it, not anything that would suggest that was the noisemaker. So I'm hoping it was that shock. We'll see. Everything in the front end looked good. All the suspension looked good. So the only other thing it could be is that upper A-arm where I don't think I greased it before. Now it's greased. So that may have resolved it. Otherwise, it may be the spring saddle. That is original to my purchase. I don't think it's original to the car, but they're pretty beat up. You saw it in the video. But I don't want to buy new spring saddles if those are working, because all that gets tossed whenever I go to the other suspension. So just trying to get by with it. So it's not a safety issue. It might start squeaking, which means that it'd wear it out, but I'm just going to keep on trucking. So I'm going to get some epoxy, get those things squared away. I'll do that off camera. That's nothing. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.